It's been more than a year since I've asked you guys to ask me whatever you want. So I posted on Patreon yesterday, ask me anything, and my people came through with some great questions. Let's roll. The first question's already a pretty good one. Vinicius asks if I miss anything from my old life. And man, that's a good question. I had to think and think and think about an answer, and I honestly could not come up with one. I don't miss anything from my old life. So before I turned this YouTube thing into a full-time job, I worked at potsandpans.com as a web developer. So that was my past life. The single track sampler asks, what happened to the DVO suspension? I don't know what you're talking about, man. It's right here. I know I put out a lot of videos. I know you can't watch them all, but I can't answer the same question 1,000 times, man. It's killing me. Christopher Smith asks, what do you see as an end game here? That is the question. There was a couple other questions like this that were related to what is the purpose? What are you doing? How's this all gonna end? If anybody friggin' knew the answer to that question. So as our friend Chege back in Kenya said, there are many ways to kill a cat. On YouTube, you can get super popular. If you get super popular, your videos have millions of views, you can make thousands of dollars per video. Right now I make tens of dollars per video, but those tens of dollars actually make this work and make it a full-time gig, so there's nothing to laugh at there. The other path would be to launch a product that transcends my channel, that launches on my channel, but reaches the entire mountain bike community. Like if I had come up with the Wolf Tooth Fat Paw grips and, really pushed them and got them out there and, had Seth ride with them and Alexander ride with them and Phil ride with them and every mountain bike YouTuber ride with my Fat Paw grips and kind of brand it and really make a splash, I think that could actually blow up and get out to the bigger mountain bike community at large. So I'm always thinking along those lines. I'm always looking at partnerships and always looking for ways to basically hit home runs using this YouTube channel to start and to build a product that I truly believe in. Trail Features asks, do I ever lay awake at night and wonder what the root beer that he sent me tasted like? Oh, gotta go first. Oh no. Oh, Jesus. I do. I really do. Scott asks, what would be the hardest thing about switching up to platform pedals? I think I pull up a lot more than I think I do. I think there's a lot of bad habits from riding clipped in for a long, long time, and yeah, I'm thinking about switching to flats just to try it out, and I've got a lot of comments about it. Actually, a couple questions in this AMA about it. Flo asks, what is the #1 bike skill that I want to learn this year? I think it would be the endo turn. I'd love to really get down the stoppies and being able to shift my weight and turn the bike on those really steep switchbacks and actually feel really confident about that. Mako asks if I'm still planning on doing an XC race. No, there will be no XC race. Forget about it. It's over. It's dead. I thought for some reason that I would have time to train while I was traveling constantly. So I'd rather travel constantly and make good videos than train and make one race video. Nobody cares. I mean, thousands of people have asked me about it. People care, but I care about traveling and riding the best trails in the world. That's the priority here. Trying to find a place where all this stuff is overwhelming. I actually don't think there's any reason to take any of this stuff out of the box. Let's put it back in until I have a place for it. Definitely need to put this space to use under here and under here. Little shelving or drawers or something. Samuel asks, what do your friends and family think about all of this, then and now? So one story I haven't told on the channel, I don't think at least, is that when I was working at Pots and Pans, I was just a regular web guy. I never really had programming experience, and I worked in the web field for like 10 years and I never had programming experience. So I actually quit that job to go to this program called Dev Bootcamp. It's like a 12-week intensive program in San Francisco where you just all day, every day, you learn how to code. I graduated from that program and then I went back to potsandpans.com. So my family and friends kind of already went through this thing before where I kind of went, fuck it. I'm quitting my job, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna pursue this and go crazy. So when I told my parents that I was gonna quit my job and do the YouTube thing full time, my mom definitely had a good reaction. My dad, I think, it kind of looked like I punched him in the stomach. But that was just the initial reaction. It's a very scary thing. All of this is fear-based, right? Like, it's super scary. I've made it work. They are behind me 100%, as you've seen from these videos. So, but just that initial reaction was definitely like, oh, God damn it. My aunts and uncles are all into it. Everybody's a great fan of the channel, which is so amazing. Like, it's so funny, like some of my old friends from high school watch the videos and I get messages from them. They pop into the live stream sometimes. It is so damn cool. So one of the highlights of my entire life was about 6 months ago. I got my grandparents set up with a smart TV, with a YouTube app, so I could come over and watch the videos with them. They're not good enough to actually go to the YouTube app and search and all that stuff. They're 80 years old. So I got one of my videos on the big screen. It was the Mont Blanc first video where it's super rocky, and my grandpa like lost his mind. He was like so over the moon of like, oh my God, I thought you were right. I thought you were riding like fire roads and stuff. I didn't know it was like crazy trails. And he had a gleam in his eye. He was so jacked up. It was just amazing. Alex asked, apart from the money, what was the thing that held you back the most from first launching BKXC? So I have to say, first launching BKXC, there was no hesitation, there was nothing. It was, let's make videos. If people like the videos, then we'll move. So there was little to no hesitation for just starting the channel. Just put it out there, whatever. People like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But that was only because I've had these other YouTube channels before. If you've been watching the channel, I had an audiobook review channel. My channel name is just Brian Kennedy. If you search for The Martian Audiobook Review, you'll get an audiobook review from me. I had the Wi-Fi Garden, which was an experiment on reviewing smart sprinkler controllers. So I'd already kind of taken the leap of putting myself out there and talking to the camera and getting called many weird things. So starting BKXC, there was no hesitation. I saw an opportunity. I'd studied YouTube. I was a fan of YouTube, and I saw that nobody was really doing YouTube mountain biking, this style, talking to you. But quitting my job and going full-time on BKXC, that was a whole different story. That was a ton of fear. At that point, I had 10,000 subscribers, 5,000 subscribers. I don't know. It was September 2016, and this thing was a thing. People were enjoying the hell out of it. It was growing. I knew it would succeed if I could keep doing what I'm doing. But all that being said, it was still scary as hell. It was still like, oh, what are people going to think? What's going to happen? Oh, what about health insurance? And I don't even know if I can articulate what the fears were. Like, I don't even know what the particular fear was. Like, that my parents were going to say, oh, this is stupid. It's like, well, they could think it's stupid, but I'm still going to do it. It's still going to work. I still have thousands of people who really like it. And my parents never said that, but right, that's like those irrational fears that pop up. Like, oh, what's my grandpa going to think? Oh, in the end, guess what? It matters what you think. It really doesn't matter. Like, I am so grateful I have my parents' support, but if I didn't have my parents' support, this is it. I got it. I had to do this. Like, the comments, the people, knowing that I was like affecting people's lives, like, you couldn't pull me away. Like, you couldn't just say, no, what are you doing? This isn't, what do you think you're going to be famous or something? But really, even if I failed, it was like, hey, okay, I'll go back to work. I could get a job. And it all comes back to our brains thinking failure is death, when failure in this life is basically nothing. Failure is learning and growing and actually getting closer to where you want to go. Like, our brains just really, really want us to think that failure is death, and failure is nothing but moving forward. Chris is curious if I have any non-mountain biking hobbies. Well, when I was sick the past 3 weeks, I was playing a lot of Fortnite on PS4. It's probably one of the best games I've ever played. Super addictive, super fun, super intense, super frustrating. But now that I'm back to full health, this is what it's all about. Jacob's wondering how many hours a week I put into the channel, and it's a lot. I've never quantified it. I always assume it's a ton. I think about it all day, every day. That's my life. It's my existence. I don't have a wife. I don't have kids. I go and have dinner with my parents on Saturday nights. I have dinner with my brother and my sister-in-law on Friday nights. And then other than that, it's all work. And I really wouldn't have it any other way, because I always wanted to be obsessed about something. I always wanted to pour my life into something, and I found it. I bumped the camera, so now I need to rejigger this thing. Not bad. So Andrew asks, how much money is in the date fund and have I put it to use yet? Alexander Single Track Sampler started this hashtag date fund on Super Chat on one of my live streams a couple weeks ago, and I'm so confused. Am I supposed to buy a hooker? Am I supposed to take a girl out on a date? If I meet a girl I'm attracted to, I'll ask her out on a date. It doesn't matter how many dollars you guys give me. So Mr. Tonka is curious if I do a cycling-based workout at the gym or just whatever. I just do a bodybuilding-focused workout. I've kind of been doing the same routine a little too long, but I like it. I like the gains that I'm getting, brother. Actually, I was making pretty good progress, looking good, feeling good, hitting, bigger and bigger weights 3 weeks ago. Then I got sick. So I haven't been back to the gym for a while. I'm wasting away. It's so funny how quick it goes. Like my natural weight is probably like 145 pounds. It's just, I have to fight. I have to eat and fight to get bigger. And it is what it is. Boo-hoo. No Front Brakes asks, how much time do I spend listening to audiobooks? I've talked about this before. I listen to a lot of self-help and business audiobooks. I love that stuff. I think it puts you in the right mindset to always be moving forward and to always challenge yourself. Over this past 3 weeks when I've been sick and I've been playing video games, I have been knocked out of that mindset. I think it's a very strange thing to be like watching YouTube videos about Fortnite and then playing Fortnite and then just totally your mind focuses on what you put in front of it. And I need to get back to listening to business and self-help audiobooks. But to answer your question, anytime I'm driving, in the morning when I'm cooking breakfast, there's usually about a good hour from when I wake up to when I'm actually ready to get to work that I listen to audiobooks. And I've got 3 recommendations for you right now. 10X Rule by Grant Cardone, Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss, and Never Eat Alone by Keith Ferrazzi. Biking with Panda asks, what makes aircraft grade aluminum better than... Jordan's curious which destination I've been to has had the best food, and it's Spain, hands down. Every friggin' day in Spain was great food, and for whatever reason, they're just naturally gluten-free. There was never dairy anything, so it was like really nice for me. And for you guys that don't know, I do gluten-free because it messes me up. I've had a lot of snarky comments about me being gluten-free, and then, yeah, it makes me shit my pants. Like, what do you want from me? But back to the food in Spain, it was so good. It's like meat, potatoes all day, every day. Just so many good little things, and we ate like kings. It was like, $7 for some 3-course meal, and I love it, man. Mountain Bike Geek wants to know where the best place I've ever gotten nuggets from. Hey, anywhere in the United States when you ask for them to be made fresh is pretty damn good. All the foreign McNuggets are just a little off. Jordan's wondering if my brother has ever been misidentified as me in public. And I don't think that's happened yet, like YouTube-wise, but when we were in college, I remember people like coming up to me or other people coming up to him thinking I was him and he was me. And it's so funny because Zach and Dane from Trail Peak, at first, they look super similar. And I think it's exactly the same with me and my brother. But it's like now that I know Zach and Dane enough, it's like, they don't really look that much alike. Jason's curious if I built a trail down a mountain and had permission to do whatever I want, what would that trail look like? I think the top would look like El Cerro in Spain. I think the middle would look like Martha Creek in Revelstoke, and then the bottom, this isn't really possible, the bottom would look like the Grudge in Simi Valley. So different landscapes. The first 2 are kind of similar landscapes. The bottom is a totally different landscape, but those 3 trails in one trail would be amazing. Jeff Robinson's curious what my favorite nugget dipping sauce is. Just regular barbecue. And what my worst MTB accident was. And it doesn't have to be physical, it could be mental as well. I think, that crash in Spain where I hit my face on the rock, that's probably the worst for me because it's just mental. That feeling of flying through the air, that feeling of being out of control, that feeling that, what the hell happened? Like, I was just riding along. Like, what? So that was tough for me. Tony is curious as to why I don't drink alcohol. Alcohol in my life has never been associated with fun. It's always been associated with girls crying, people puking, dudes telling you their most inner secrets. Like, riding in a car and feeling like you're gonna fucking die at any second. So, it's just never been associated with fun. Paul's wondering why I always avoid the jumps. It's because I'm never comfortable on jumps. I feel like I'm gonna get hurt on jumps. Every single story you ever hear from somebody being injured was from a jump. That being said, I am getting more comfortable. I swear it's all about the suspension and how poppy the suspension is and how hard you're running it. And the more hard I run the suspension, the more comfortable I feel in the jumps. Michael wants to know if I will adopt him. He's housebroken. Sure, man, you can come live in the loft in the Nugatorium. Sweet, that was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for all your questions. If I didn't answer your question, I'm sorry. I will try to do more of these. Like I said, the last one I did was like a year ago. I like telling my story. I think there's a lot of new people to the channel that don't know my story, and I'm always here. So let's do it again. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you on the trail.